Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. If you had asked me just a couple days ago, is there a snowball's chance in hell that the Lbry would appeal the judge's decision in the SEC v. Lbry case, I would have said you out your damn mind. I would have said that there's about a 0% chance of that happening, and for good reason I would say that. Because Lbry was supposed to shut down. That's in fact what they said to the court. They told the judge, that's what the plan was. That's what they were going to do. And I'll explain why. I didn't set the table properly here. But that's not what's happening. They're now appealing that decision, which is fantastic, and I love to see it. And I can't help but wonder, why the 180? How is this even possible? Where's the support coming from, financially and otherwise? So again, I think it's exciting and amazing, but I can't help but wonder, would this be occurring if not for the fact that Judge Torres declared that XRP itself is not a security? Would this be happening if things hadn't gone so well for XRP holders, the entire XRP community? Well, perhaps that is the case. And you know what's fascinating also? If this thing gets overturned, ooh. Because as one attorney within our community put it, and I'll show you this comment a little bit later on in the video, this is basically like when the SEC won in the Lbry case, that was basically, as he put it, the crown jewel. And what if that actually gets reversed? Because now that's on the table. It wasn't before, but now it is. I also want to share with you some perspective from attorney John Deaton, because he's highlighted ways in which the adoption of XRP was materially harmed by the SEC. And not that I or he or any of you want to dwell on it, but we need to address it, certainly. I think that Attorney Deaton's right in highlighting the degree to which the disgusting SEC has harmed all of our financial well-being. But in terms of utility, absolutely it's been harmed, and I still believe that price ultimately will follow utility, so I'm not exactly pleased about this. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, real quick here, just a very minimal amount of table setting. I want to make sure we're on the same page, because Lbry lost their lawsuit with the SEC. I want to say it was the beginning part of November last year. If not, it was somewhere right around there. I'm just kind of pulling from memory here. And then there was the remedies portion. There was that hearing towards the end of January, and that's where Attorney Deaton jumped in as amicus, you may recall. But during the hearing, and actually prior to that too, this has been stated multiple times by Jeremy Kauffman, who is the founder and CEO of Lbry. He had stated, hey, Lbry's insolvent, and we're going to have to be winding down operations here. And as a result, the SEC actually changed the fine that they were trying to levy against Lbry. And so you can see here, yeah, here you go. Here's the actual figure right here. Lbry, this is insane. The SEC was initially trying to get $22 million out of Lbry. By the time it was all said and done, the only money Lbry had left was $111,614. That's it. $111,614. And so that is what the fee ended up being. That's right, down to the dollar. The SEC took Lbry's last dollar, and that was what was determined in the remedies portion from the judge. Now, I've detested that decision like through and through, and I've gone into great detail in the past on why. But it is what it is, and Lbry said they weren't going to appeal, so I was just like, well, can't win them all, I guess. Except for that's not the case now, as you know. But at the time, that's what we were worried about. So here's a post from the official Lbry account on July 11th. By the way, 2 days before XRP Victory Day, July 11th, 2023. And here's what Lbry said. The final judgment in SEC v. Lbry is out. In accordance with the court's order and our promises, we expect to spend the next several months winding Lbry Inc. down entirely. As to what happens to Lbry from here, well, that's up to you. And so, of course, we need to distinguish between Lbry, the entity that was developing, and then Lbry, referencing the Lbry. So there's LBC, which is the Lbry credit token. That's a ticker symbol. And then there's just Lbry in general, the actual platform. So the company is separate from that. I just want to make sure in case anybody had any question about that, in case you hadn't been following this story that closely. But there you go. So that was the plan to wind down. Now, here we are, less than 2 months later, And we get this. Here's the headline from Cointelegraph. Lbry decides to fight. Blockchain firm files notice to appeal against SEC. And I don't even really need to read the article. The headline pretty much says what you need to know, but here's the actual post from Lbry. They simply wrote, Lbry has filed a notice of appeal against the SEC. And so when I saw this, I was like, what? And I was very excited for this, of course, understandably, because this is the SEC's probably arguably greatest win here. And now there's a chance that this is actually going to get overturned because the asset itself, the cryptocurrency itself, is never the security, but there was a different finding in this ultimately. And so I responded to Lbry because I knew that they were supposed to be shutting down. I knew that Lbry was insolvent, and so I responded and wrote, does this mean the Lbry business entity is no longer winding down operations? Love to see the fight. And so to this point, Lbry has not responded. Now, it's a virtual certainty that is indeed the case, that at least right now, they're not going to wind down the operations, but I was looking for a formal, clarification of what that is and hoping to get maybe a couple of details additionally out of them. But either way, you're not going to file an appeal and then shut down the next day. So we know what the answer is. I was just kind of hoping to get a little bit more out of them, but that's okay. They don't owe me any sort of response. But that is indeed the case. So, but again, I just said they were insolvent too. So what's going on there? Well, attorney Bill Morgan of the XRP community, he reposted what I wrote to Lbry, and he said, someone in the broader crypto world must be funding the appeal. I have some suspicions who it may be. And so I responded to that and said, yeah, the money has to come from somewhere. It has been verified through legal proceedings that Lbry was insolvent when the final judgment came down. I wonder who provided funding then. Maybe another firm that was also attacked by the SEC. And so, folks, I don't know who it was. We can have fun speculating, and that's reasonable to do so. Who knows? Maybe it was Ripple. I don't know. Would it be Coinbase? I don't know. It's wild speculation. I have absolutely no idea. But the money came from somewhere. And obviously it would be from someone or an entity that is not exactly, best BFFs with like the SEC. I would say they're probably not BFFs. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know where. I don't know if we'll ever know. Maybe we will. Maybe it'll come out. But it came from somewhere. But this costs a lot of money. Millions of dollars were spent by Lbry on their legal expenses over the span of several years, however long this litigation was going on. Maybe it was like half a decade, whatever it was. So they were out of money, and that's why the fee. In fact, that's why the penalty fee. That's why it was what it was. That $111,000. That's all they had left. But they've got funding here. I mean, unless a legal team is just doing this for free, which I doubt. This is a big ass job, just to be honest with you here. There's also this separate tweet from attorney Morgan, and he said, never give up Lbry. And he tagged Jeremy Kauffman. He says, everyone is on your side, especially holders of the LBC token. I always said it wasn't a good judgment. Here you have attorney Fred Rispoli of the XRP community, and he wrote, way to go, Lbry. Would be great if SEC's crown jewel win gets reversed. And so, folks, now that's on the table. That actually could happen. I think it was a bogus ruling, but I figured it would stand because there weren't any funds to fight back. But now apparently there are. And it was a bad ruling. The token itself is never the security. It never is. And then there was also this, shifting gears slightly here, but still on the topic of the disastrous SEC here. We get this headline from the Crypto Basic. And this is actually from a few days ago, but there was an update to this. So and I hadn't touched on this actually at all. So I wanted to just quickly run through some of this. But the headline of this piece, John Deaton, lingering lawsuit hurts XRP adoption by Amazon Pay and others. And so there was a post that was referenced from, I think it was September 3rd. And then separate from that, there's one that I came across that's not in the article, but it's on the exact same topic, which is why I'm going to cover both of them. But there was a comment from attorney Deaton literally yesterday. And so, anyway, piece reads as follows. John Deaton, managing partner at crypto-focused law firm Deaton Law, has bemoaned how the long-standing legal battle between Ripple Labs and the United States Securities and Exchange Commission has adversely hindered the adoption of XRP. Notably, the lawsuit has prevented an integration that would allow the use of XRP as a payment option on the widely used Amazon Pay service. Okay, so folks, there's a couple ways that I look at this. You can look at how far we've been set back in terms of utility and how much we've been set back in terms of market price of XRP. In terms of the market price of XRP, I think it's very clear. I mean, it's evidenced by the fact that XRP did not run to a new all-time high. The damage that was done over a span of over 2.5 years because of the SEC is not going to just be fixed in a matter of days or weeks or even months. It's going to take longer than that. I think a lot of the damage will be fixed during the next bull market because XRP is no longer shackled, and at least XRP is still moving in tandem with broader crypto markets, so it's not like I'm going to cry myself to sleep over this, but it is bad. XRP should be worth it should have a way higher market cap right now. I firmly believe it would, because you can't just make all the people be invested in XRP today that didn't invest over the last 2.5 years because of the situation. Missed opportunity. It is what it is. And in terms of adoption, this is what's amazing, actually, showing you how resilient XRP is and the XRP community and developers within the XRP community. In terms of developer activity and utility, that's been increasing during this entire period. So it's still cool to see that, for sure, but it just makes you wonder how many developers took one look at XRP and the XRP ledger and were like, nope, only because of legal implications, not because it wouldn't have been a great layer one, technology for the tech stack they want to build, but just because probably not going to touch this. The big question mark, for the future of it, especially from a legal perspective. What if we want to do business in the United States, this or that? Maybe just do something else. And so it makes me wonder how many developers are building on other platforms that would have otherwise gone to it. So that, I think, in the short term hasn't had pretty much any impact in terms of price. But the thing is, and this is my investment thesis, it's that utility matters and will win the day. So then if you're looking long term, the lack of the developer activity that would have otherwise existed, I do think that would ultimately, at some unknown point down the road, I think that would have an impact on price. But these things are incalculable, frankly, because you can't know who would have done what because it didn't happen. How are you going to find that out? Because it's just a reality that didn't exist. And so here's an example. And this is from attorney John Deaton several days ago. He wrote, "Here's a small yet significant example of how the lawsuit hurt XRP's adoption. I was just purchasing an item over the internet, and the payment options include pay with cryptocurrency with BitPay." And he's talking about Amazon here, Amazon Pay. BitPay originally included XRP. It was one of the first ones utilized. After the lawsuit, however, BitPay stopped processing XRP in the United States. XRP was created for payments. Dogecoin was created as a joke. Yet, because of the SEC, the joke token gets used as a payments token, but the payments token is not allowed. Yeah, that makes perfect SEC sense. And he shared this screen grab for everybody that cares to look. And so there's a nice little slot right now where XRP would fit. They could just plug it back in, damn it. But it's a real thing. It's just one example. Here's yet another. Attorney Deaton made this comment as a result of this post from Coinbase. This is their official Coinbase account on social media platform X. They wrote, "Fun fact. As of today, over 1 million verified Coinbase users now hold USDC. Trust is in the numbers." Okay, kind of cool. I mean, I've never held a single stablecoin in my entire life. I've never had cause to, and I'm not thrilled about, I guess I'm glad they exist. Maybe I will temporarily at some point in the future. I could see potentially meeting that. But for me, like once I buy, I just put everything in cold storage. And so because I don't get in and out of positions. I don't like to keep stuff on exchanges. But still, I understand that it's useful to other people, valuable to other people, and that's all well and good. So cool. Coinbase, they're all about USDC. Fine, except for it's kind of, burns my biscuit. It's all about when you consider what Attorney Deaton said literally just yesterday, which is the post that's on your screen here. And I'd actually highlighted some of this before because Attorney Deaton found this screen grab and shared it. Here, I'll make this full screen for you. But back in the day, before the lawsuit, Coinbase was marketing XRP and USDC. They were marketing both. And so here's what Attorney Deaton had to say. And the ad's on your screen from years ago before the lawsuit. This is from Coinbase. But Attorney Deaton says, "The damage to XRP's adoption in the United States is very significant. As you can see, Coinbase supported and promoted 2 tokens for cross-border payments, USDC and XRP. Because the SEC was claiming XRP was a security, including secondary market sales, independent of Ripple, and Coinbase needed the SEC's approval to go public and issue an IPO, Coinbase felt compelled to suspend/delist XRP from its platform. Once XRP was delisted / suspended from the platform, USDC became the primary promoted token for use moving money internationally. Without the lawsuit, there's no reason Coinbase wouldn't be saying today that it has over 1 million users holding XRP. Spot on, Attorney Dean. They could have been saying something like that today, but instead they're talking about USDC, the stablecoin. Thanks for nothing, Kim Jong-Ginsler. I tell you what, man. If I were to ever get Kim Jong-Ginsler a Christmas present, because, I mean, you know, the holidays will be here in just a matter of months, right? If I were to do that, it would be an entire bag of eggplant emojis. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.